Hi, welcome to another episode of Book Cover DIY. In today's tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to design a book cover for a psychological thriller. So let's get started. Here we are on Canva.com. This is that free design website we use for all of our book covers. Today I'm going to be working on an ebook cover, but as always, if you are needing a full print book cover, you can still watch today's tutorial and then click the link in the description box below. That will take you over to my print paperback book cover tutorial where I'll show you how to calculate your custom dimensions and design for the back of your book as well as the spine. So on today's tutorial, we'll be working on the front cover only. Right, so here across the center of your home screen, you should see this option for book cover. If not, you can just come up to the search bar and type in book cover. It's going to take you over to the book cover templates page. You can always scroll through here to see if there are any that you like and want to customize for your book cover. This is probably a good one for like a psychological thriller. But today I'm going to start from scratch. So I'm just going to come over here to create a blank book cover. It's going to take us over to our design area. Here on the right, we have our canvas where we'll be designing. And over here on the left, this is our toolbox and our toolbar. I always like to start off with a photograph or a graphic. It kind of sets the tone for everything else, including our color scheme and our title font. Before you start designing any book cover, it's always good to hop on over to Amazon and check out the books in that category. So here we are under psychological thrillers. And as I've been going through here, I see a lot of like houses, also a lot of doors and eyes. Here's an eye, here's like a walkway, another house, doorway, door. Also, obscured faces is a thing you'll see a lot under this category. See more houses, doors. So if you're curious as to what is the current, trend in your book cover design, see here's some more obscured faces. Just hop on over to Amazon and check out, books in the same genre as what you're writing in, or just stroll through a bookstore or the book section of Walmart or Target and kind of just get some idea, and that'll help you when designing your book cover. All right, so let's hop back on over to Canva. I'm going to start with a photograph today. If you go over to Elements, if you click on Elements, you're going to have the option to search for graphics or photos. But today I want only photographs as my result, so I'm going to come down here to this option. And so you can see our toolbox change, and now we have photos. It always starts with your recently used and then what is currently trending. I'm just going to go in the search bar at the top, and I'm going to type in, let's see what we have in the way of doors. Now you will notice when you get your results that some of them have crowns, and when you hover over them, they say Pro. That means that these are available with Canva Pro, the paid option. If you would like to filter those out, come back up to your search bar and you'll see 3 lines. Click in there and then go down to price and check free and then click off to the side. And now you can see Canva has filtered out all of the paid options. So now you only have free, and there are quite a few in here. So don't think that you're only going to get good results when you get the paid version. Look how many doors are in here. And these are all the free options. So like this one here, this would be a good one for a psychological thriller. Here's one with a silhouette. And we can also just search under thriller and see what comes up. Okay, here are some good options here. Here's an obscured face like we were seeing. This is a person running. Okay, so I think I really like this one. Let's get rid of these other ones here. Okay, so I'm going to click on this blue one. See, I've got that blue one. And then there's a little trash can. I'm going to click delete. This one as well. I'm going to click on this one with all the greenery and delete. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag it up to the corner. And I'm going to stretch it out, I guess, all the way. And then I'm going to slide it over so she's off center. Okay, so now I'm going to click on the photo again, and then I'm going to come up to edit image because I don't want to leave it as it is. I kind of want to darken it and do some things to it. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to come down to photogenic. Click on see all, and here we are at none. But these are filters that you can add to it. So we have them in different categories. These are natural, warm. See, they're going to add some, oranges and yellows to them. Cool is going to be more like greens and blues. We have vivid, soft, vintage and mono, which is the black and white. There's also color pop down here. Let me see what this poster looks like. I kind of like that. I want it to be a little bit darker. Okay, I'm going to go with that poster one. It kind of makes it look like an old photograph. And then I'm going to click on apply. And then I'm going to come back up, and here, let's see, at the top it says adjust. These are your manual adjustments. I'm going to click on see all. And the one I want to go to first is vignettes right here in the center. And what it's going to do is going to put some dark around the edges. So I'm going to increase that. If you can notice, look down here where her hair is. It's like really bright and vibrant. As I drag it across, how dark it gets. And then we can always go in and make some manual adjustments if we wanted to. There's brightness, contrast. I'm going to bump up the contrast, maybe 5. Probably same with saturation. And I'm probably going to just fade it slightly to make, again, to look like an old photograph. I always have to make up a story in my head. So let's say that in this story, this girl went missing, many years ago, and this was actually the last photo ever taken of her. All right, so now I'm going to click off to the side. Okay, so here is our cover photo. Okay, so now we need to add our title. We're going to come over here to text. And if you'll scroll down, you're going to see there are a lot of pre-made text. Some of them have the crown. So you can scroll through there and, find one you like, either free or if you have the paid version. But I like to just come back up to the top and click on add a heading and make my own. You know how they have like the girl in the window or the girl in the train? We'll call this the girl in the photo. I'm actually going to start with the word girl instead, and I'm going to use all caps. Let me show you something really quickly. You can't see this right now because it's black on this dark. Let me go ahead and just change it to white right now. I don't know if we're going to keep it white, but just so you can see it. So I'm going to come up here to this A with a color bar beneath it. If you click in there, you're going to get your color palettes with different color options. Right now, I'm just going to pick on white. I can either choose it up here in the document colors or down here on default colors. Also, if you look across the middle, it says photo colors. Anytime you upload your own photo or select a photo here in Canva, it creates a color palette from that photo. So here is our photo of our girl. And you can see as I'm clicking on the different colors, these are all found in the photo, the word is changing. I'm just going to leave it at pure white right now because what I want to do is I want to show you, look at the font. The majority of these books have, sort of just a block font, but it's tall and skinny. You rarely see any kind of cursive or fancy fonts. Again, this is kind of the norm with these types of books, so that's why it's always good to research your book genre and see what you see most often. Again, I have yet to see a cursive or fancy font. Look, they're all tall and skinny, a good amount of space between the letters. And most of them, with the exception of this one, most of them are in all caps, if you'll notice that as well. Let me go to page 2. Again, look, coworker. Don't dare. Tall and skinny. These are a little bit rounder. Tall and skinny. Tall and skinny. Tall and skinny. Oops. All caps. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're probably going to do something similar like this where there's different sizes. So let me hop back over. Okay, I'm just going to start with girl, and then what we'll do is once we get it the way we like it, we will duplicate it for the other words. Okay, we have Canva Sans selected right now, and you think, okay, well, that's pretty similar. No, don't choose this. This is way too plain. Do not choose this. This is even for this. Choose something different. Okay, so I'm going to click on Canva Sans. We make sure you have your little box checked. And then our toolbox, we're going to get all of our different font choices. Again, you're going to see some have the crown, but there are many, many options without it. Let's just start clicking on some to find one we like. Okay, so this one here is kind of similar to what we're seeing. If you see a little arrow next to it, that means that there are more options. So I chose the regular, but you can also click on bold. Oh, I kind of like that. Okay, here's what we can do. Instead of changing it and, losing it and forgetting what we chose before, while you have that clicked, you're going to get a little menu right above it. This one here to the left of the trash can says duplicate. If you click on there, you're going to get another, just another copy of it. But what's cool is that we can leave this one that we like And then we can change this one. So now we can have a bunch of these up here and then just kind of see which one is our favorite. Okay, so I'm going to keep the first one. The second one, I'm going to try this bright. No, I don't like that. There's future. Okay, I like that one as well. Okay, guys, so I have 6 options here. I know some of them look almost identical. And so now I want to decide, I'm probably going to put the words over here in this, voided area so we don't obstruct our face. So what I'm going to do is kind of just get an idea. I think I know I don't want, I don't want these ones that have the little stick coming off the G. I already can tell I don't want those. So I'm going to go ahead and delete those. That one and that one. Just click the little trash can. And I don't think I'm liking this one either. I'm liking this rounded G. So I'm going to get rid of this one. And I know it probably looks like all these 3 are exactly the same, but they're not. This one has a little bit of an angle here on the bottom of the G. And then this one, it's a little bit skinnier. The G's rounder and the R juts out a little bit more. Yeah, not that one either. So it's between this one and this one. I'm kind of liking the oddity of this R. Like, it just feels like there's something off with it. You see the proportions are odd, and it gives you the feel that something is off. And I kind of like that for, a psychological thriller, that something, is off. So see, even when you're designing your font and choosing your font styles, it always going to relate back to your story. So in this, there's something off, something wrong. So I want that to be related even in the font. So let me get rid of that one and we'll go with this one. Okay. Now I do have the option if I want to bold it or not. So now we need to pick a color because I chose white just temporarily, but you can't see that. So let's come back up here to this A with the text color. And let's see, there's a hot pink. So we can choose any of these default colors down here. There's another thing we can do is we can come up here to this little rainbow square with the plus sign. It says add a new color. We can click in there and then we can use these sliders. So the first slider you'll want to use is this bottom one because this is going to choose your actual, color. Okay, and then let's say like I'm going to put in the green just for right now. Once you have chosen one of the colors of the rainbow, you can come up here to this slider and change the shade. See, as I'm dragging it along, it's getting brighter near the top and darker as I drag it toward the bottom so you can find the perfect shade. Another thing you can do is you can use this eyedropper tool and you can place it over anything in your photograph, and once you click on it, like we'll do here on the highlight of her face, if I click in there, then see it changed to match the highlight on her face. Okay, so those are the different ways you can select your colors. I think I'm going to go with this kind of see, there's a bright red. I'm kind of liking this more faded orangey red. Okay, so we're going to do that. Now let me decide if I want it bold or not, the girl. No, I don't want it bold. If you ever want to undo something, you're just going to click on undo. You know what, guys? I just realized something. One of my old videos that I did, I already called it the girl with no name. So you know what? Let's just call this one the last photo. So let me change that because I don't want to have 2 that are just the same. Okay, so we'll just call this the last photo. You can make it smaller or larger by grabbing one of the corners and dragging it in or out. And then I'm just going to duplicate that, bring it up, and I'm going to write the. Now this one I'm going to make smaller, so I'm going to drag that in. And I'm going to stretch out last to make that larger. And then I'm going to duplicate it one more time for the word photo. Just stretch it out that way so we can fit the whole word. And then I'm going to drag it in to make it smaller. If you want to line these all up together, let's see, I'm going to put them out of order like that. If you click on each one, while holding down shift, see I'm holding down shift, it places them all inside one dotted line box. Then you can come up to the position, click on there, and you're going to get some new options. There's 2 tabs, Arrange tab and Layers tab. Right now we want to stay on the Arrange tab, and we're going to just click on Center, and when I click on Center, watch them all line up inside the white box. And so they are all centered. You can also click on the word Group right above them, and it's going to place them into one purple line box. So now you can move them all together. That the is way too high up, so I'm actually going to ungroup them because I need to adjust that. Okay, and then I can do that again. Hold down shift, click on all three. I'm going to click on position again, and okay, when I click on tidy up, it's going to evenly space them. Watch. Okay, so now they are all evenly spaced, and now I will group them together. And now I can stretch them all. I didn't mean to stretch them that large, but I kind of like that. Looks like I'm having one of Bob Ross's happy little accidents, because I was going to place all the title right here, but I'm liking the way it looks like this. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to leave it like that. I still feel like the is a little bit too far, so I'm going to ungroup them. And all I'm going to move is the down slightly. I just felt like this gap is too big between the and last. Now I can come up here to effects, and if I wanted to, I can click on lift, and you can see it makes a shadow behind them. Watch, let me undo it, and let me zoom in so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, when I click on lift, you're going to see that it gets kind of dark, just slightly. I can increase that. I can also do shadow, but it's in the same color. You can always change it right here. Let me zoom out a little bit. Oh, that looks pretty interesting. You can change the color. See, right now it's red. It defaults to the color that you used already on the font. But you can click in there and you can change it to like black, white. You can also increase the transparency. See, it's kind of see-through right now. You can increase it all the way. But if you do that, you definitely want a different color. So let me change it to black, and see, this is when I'm increasing it all the way. You can do the same thing with white. So you can try and see how it looks with different colors. The offset is how far it is from the letter. So right now it's at 50, but as I bring it back, see, it gets closer to the words and then farther away. And there's also direction, which like right now it's going to the right. You can also change it to the left or above. Let me put it back at 45 where it was. Okay, I'm actually liking it as red. So normally I do this first and then duplicate it, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. Since I've already duplicated these words, I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing. So I'm just clicking on the and adding shadow. Same thing with photo. Shadow. Okay guys, so I switched that to white, and since we have it at the 50%, it's kind of given us sort of this gray vibe. Okay, so now we need to go in and add our author name. So I'm going to come over here where we are in text, and instead of add a heading, I'm just going to add a subheading. It's going to give us a smaller text box. Let's change that color. Again, right now I'm just going to change it to white just so we can see it, and then now we need to think of a name. Okay, I'm also going to do this in, let's say Frida McFadden. Let's do Frida. Again, I'm going to change the font, so we're going to come over to Canva Sans. If you wanted to use the same font, you can come to the very top. It says Document Fonts. This is where we are right now, Canva Sans. But if you look right below that, this Century Gothic is going to be what is down here. So if I click on that, you can see it changes. We can also see some recommended fonts that are similar. Maybe something like that. Right now it is center aligned because we have this one center aligned. You see they're all lined up, but what I want to do is I want to come up here to the alignment and see it's in the center now. If I change it, you can change it to the left, justified, or right. I want it left aligned like that. I'm going to make it slightly larger because it's going to fit right in here. And then I want to change the color. So I'm going to come over here to this A. Okay, here's the color we currently have. There's pure white. There's also the grays that are in the photo. Of course, you're not going to be able to see anything dark. I think for this one, I'm just going to choose pure white. I can also go into effects. And for this one, I probably will put a lift behind it. It's going to be just make it slightly darker right around the letters. I'm going to increase that to 100. You know what, guys, I think I want to say, instead of it just called the last photo, let me duplicate this, bring it down. I'm going to stretch it all the way across, and I'm going to delete this right now. And I need to center it, so I'm going to come back up here to the alignment. and now it is center aligned. I'm going to bring this down. I want to make it larger. I'm going to actually group them together. Okay, so let me click on the last photo, which is already a group together. See, it says ungroup, but we're going to leave it a group. I'm going to hold down shift and click of Sarah James and then group that. So now we have all of this in one group. Oh, but you know what I need to do? On Sarah James, I need to click on effects. And for this one, I don't want to put a shadow. I'm just going to put a lift and increase that. Okay, so by doing this, we just have a little bit more information of what our book's about. Instead of just being the last photo, we know that obviously this is the last photo of Sarah James, so maybe she went missing or passed away or something like that. By simply adding a little bit extra to your title, we don't want it like ridiculously long, but adding a little extra detail can increase curiosity. So the last photo of Sarah James, this is our completed book cover design, but as always, I like to make a second version. And to do that, we're just going to come right above it to the upper right, and it says duplicate page. We're going to click on that, and we're going to get a second page. See, page 1 and page 2. Everything transferred over to page 2. We are going to be working on this one. It's going to take only a few steps, then we'll have a whole second design. Okay, so now let's make a few changes. First thing I want to do is probably reposition the photo. So I'm just going to click on the photo, and you can see we have this big purple square. I'm going to stretch it out quite a bit. Okay, so I repositioned it, and I'm going to move this down here for right now. Okay, so now I'm going to ungroup everything, and so now we have all these separate. So I think what I'll do is I'll kind of just do an off. So I'm going to bring the over here. I'm going to duplicate this, and you know what? Let's get rid of these altogether. I'm going to duplicate the, change it to of, make it smaller, put it right in this bar. And then let's duplicate photo. We're going to change that to Sarah, and then duplicate Sarah. Change that to James. Okay, since this is majority over light color, we need to change that, the effect. Let's try black. And let's see if we need to increase it 100. Yeah, let's increase it. Same thing here. We're going to change all of these to black and increase it to 100%. Black, increase, black, 100%. And on Rita McGowan, we'll put a black shadow as well. Okay, so now all we're doing is kind of just adjusting their distance from each other. Let's bring this down slightly. Okay, there's something about this I don't like. Maybe it's the font. Let's change that. Okay, and then I just want to slightly fade this photo a little bit more, as if you had zoomed in on it. Maybe it was, you know, her photo was in the very background of another photo. So I'm going to click on the photo again. I'm going to go to edit image, and let's go just to manual adjustments, see all, and let's see, let's increase our fade. See, as I'm fading it, I'm going to fade it to 100. And let's see the brightness. Maybe a 5 on the brightness. Okay, now I'm going to click off to the side. Okay, so we have our photo. It's a little bit more faded. Okay, so I think that's it for the second one. You can see we have 2 different versions here. Let's go ahead and download them so we can check them out. First thing we want to do is to rename our project. It says girl because that is the first word that I wrote, and it usually kind of just defaults to whatever you type first. So I'm going to click in there, and let's change that to the last photo book covers. All right, and then we're going to click on share and download. It defaults to PDF standard for print. I'm just going to go with PNG. And I'm going to click on download. It's only going to take a few seconds, and we'll check them out side by side. I'm going to click on the file. It's a zip file because it has 2 book covers. Let's click on each cover. Okay, so let's check out our 2-book covers. So here is the first one we did. We have increased like the shadows and the features. We've increased the contrast. We made it kind of like almost look like newspaper print. And then we have the last photo with our white shadow. It says the last photo of Sarah James. And then our author name up here. And then we have our second version, which we zoomed in on her face. You know, I probably should have zoomed in a little bit more to cut off this like fingernail here. And we faded the photo so it almost looked like, you know, maybe, again, like maybe she was in the background of another photo and you had to like really zoom in to see her. We kept the font the same for our book title, but we changed our shadow to a solid black. We increased the opacity, and then we kind of broke up the name instead of having it, you know, all in line and centered. We kind of made it a little bit scattered. So here are 2 versions of our psychological thriller, The Last Photo of Sarah James. Which one do you like better? You like version A, which is this one here, the first one, or version B? Tell me which one you vote for. So if you would like more tips for designing your book cover, be sure and head on over to my website, bookcovers-diy.com, and either click on a free ebook for writers, or over here on the menu you can click on free stuff. And be sure and get your free ebook that I created just for you. It's called The Ultimate Guide to Designing an Eye-Catching Book Cover. It is filled with secrets and tips. I give you color photos as examples, the how and why it's important to design an eye-catching book cover, and I've also included a bonus checklist for you to go through when designing your own book cover. So just click the link to access that now. I will put a link in the description box below as well. If today's tutorial helped you in any way, please hit that like button and let me know. I love hearing feedback from you guys. And don't forget to subscribe because I'll be adding more video tutorials, and hit that notification bell so you will be notified as soon as the next video comes out. So thanks again for watching, liking, and subscribing. Until next time, bye-bye.